I will give you 2 million to sleep with my wife and get her pregnant.
2 million? Oga, which day make I come knock am?
Chief Anthony Adeleke was the kind of man people pointed at and whispered, "See that one, God has blessed him well." At 42, he owned 3 filling stations in Lagos, a sprawling mansion in Ikeja GRA, and a fleet of exotic cars that made his neighbors sick with envy. But Anthony would trade every kobo, every car, every drop of fuel in his tanks for just one thing: a child. His wife Stella was his greatest treasure. He had met her at a bank in Victoria Island where she worked as a relationship manager. She was 28 then, tall, caramel-skinned, with a smile that could calm the fiercest storm. Her cars were huge that made men forget their account numbers. Anthony pursued her for 1 year before she said yes. They finally got married. For 3 years, they tried for a baby. Every month, Stella's hope rose. Every month, her hope crashed. The gossipers in Anthony's family did not waste time. Is it not a woman's duty to give her husband children? See all this money, who will inherit it? Maybe she is a man. Maybe she cannot bear fruit. Stella cried in silence. Anthony held her and said, "It is God's time, my love. When he is ready, he will give us twins." But inside, Anthony was dying. Stella convinced Anthony to see a specialist. "Babe, I am fine. I don't need any doctor," he had protested. "Anthony, please, for me, let us just check. If nothing is wrong, we will continue trusting God." They went to a fertility clinic on the island, the best in West Africa, they said. Tests were done, blood was drawn, samples were taken. The doctor, a quiet man with thick glasses and a gentle voice, called Anthony alone. "Chief Adeleke, I have reviewed your results carefully." Anthony waited. "The issue is not with your wife. Your sperm count is 0. There is no activity at all. Medically, you are..." The doctor paused. "Impotent." The word hit Anthony like a truck. "But I can perform. I satisfy my wife." Impotent does not mean you cannot have sex, Chief. It means you cannot produce a child. There is a difference. I am sorry. Anthony paid for the consultation, told the doctor to send all reports to him directly, and walked out. He never told Stella. Watching Stella cry every month broke something inside Anthony. She suggested adoption. He refused. She suggested IVF. He refused. She went to different churches for prayers, praying for a child. One evening, driving through Lekki, Anthony saw him. A young man, shirtless, sweating under the sun, carrying bags of cement on a construction site. His muscles glistened. His body was strong. He looked healthy, handsome, and desperate. Anthony parked his Mercedes. "You there, come." The young man dropped the cement and approached cautiously. "Oga, you call me?" "What is your name?" "Stephen, Oga. Stephen Okunpo." "How much do they pay you here?" 2,000 naira per day, Oga. Sometimes 3 if they work plenty. Anthony looked at him for a long moment. "Stephen, how would you like to make 2 million naira in one night?" Stephen's eyes widened. "Oga, any work we no involve killing people, I did do am." Anthony smiled. "Get in the car, we need to talk." Over fried rice and chicken at a hidden buka, Anthony explained. Stephen listened. His face changed several times. Shock, confusion, disgust, and finally, calculation. "Oga, you want make I sleep with your wife?" "Not sleep. Make love to her, get her pregnant, one time, then disappear forever. 2 million naira cash. Nobody will ever know. You will never see me or her again." Stephen thought about his mother in the village, sick and unable to afford her medication. He thought about his younger siblings sent away from school because fees were unpaid. He thought about the 2,000 naira per day, the sun burning his back, the foreman who insulted him like a dog. "Oga, I go do am, just fix date." Anthony took Stella to an expensive restaurant in Victoria Island. Lobster, champagne, candlelight. She was happy. She laughed. She held his hand across the table. After dinner, he drove her to Suchi Hotels. "Anthony, why are we here? We live close by." I want to spoil my wife tonight, no questions. She smiled and followed. He had booked the presidential suite. They drank wine, they talked. They made love. Anthony slipped something into her remaining glass of wine. The doctor had assured him it would make her sleep deeply, dreamlessly. At 2 a.m., she was asleep. Anthony called Stephen in. He looked at Stella, sleeping so peacefully, so beautiful. He looked at Anthony. Oga, now because of this your 2 million naira. When it was over, he dressed and left without a word. Anthony sat in the corner of the suite and wept. 6 weeks later, Stella missed her period. She took a test. Positive. She took another. Positive. She screamed. She cried. She called Anthony at work. Anthony! Anthony! I am pregnant! God has answered our prayers. Anthony drove home like a madman. He held her, spun her around, cried with her. The gossipers were silenced. 9 months later, Stella gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Chibuzor. God is the way. Chibuzor grew into a fine boy. He had Anthony's smile, but Stella's eyes. He was tall for his age, intelligent, respectful. He called Anthony daddy with so much love that Anthony sometimes forgot the truth. Anthony loved the boy with everything in him. He sent him to the best schools, bought him everything he wanted. Stella was happy. Their marriage was peaceful. The secret lay buried. But secrets, like dead bodies, have a way of rising. It was a Tuesday evening. Stella was in the kitchen preparing dinner. Chibuzor was in his room playing video games. The security man called. Ma, one man say he know you. He say him name na Stephen. I don't know any Stephen, no. Go tell your Oga. Anthony was already downstairs in the living room. Oga, person the gate say him want see you. Him name na Stephen. For a second, Anthony didn't remember any Stephen. Stephen? What? Stephen? He stood up shocked. He quickly went to the gate. A man stood there. He was no longer the cement carrier Anthony had met 15 years ago. He wore a designer, gold chains, and expensive shoes. A Mercedes SUV waited behind him. Anthony rushed at him. What are you doing here now? The agreement? Stella cut him short. Yes? Who are you? What agreement? Stella asked. Stephen looked at her. She was still beautiful, still the woman he had touched in the dark. Mama Chibuzor, he said, I need to talk to you inside. Anthony tried to stop him from talking. Stephen, please go. I will see you tomorrow. Stella became confused and worried. Why do you want to see him tomorrow? Is there a problem? How do you know my son? She turned to Stephen. Stephen took a deep breath. Because he is my son. Anthony's heart began to beat hard. Stella laughed, a sharp, confused laugh. Are you mad? My husband is Anthony Adeleke. My son is Anthony's son. Leave my house before I call the police. Stephen did not laugh. Ask your husband about the night at Suchi Hotels. Ask him about the drink you took. Ask him about the 2 million naira he paid me to sleep with you while you were unconscious. The world stopped. Stella's hands began to shake. You are lying. I have waited 15 years to say this. I am rich now. I have a right to know my son. Ask your husband. Let him deny it. Stella asked Anthony. Anthony, Stella's voice was cold. Who is this man? Anthony opened his mouth, closed it. Tell her, Oga, Stephen said. Tell her the truth you hid for 15 years. Anthony fell to his knees. Stella, I did it for us. I did it because I loved you. I could not bear to see you cry. I could not lose you. The doctor said I was impotent. I couldn't give you a child, so I found him. I paid him. I am sorry. Stella screamed. Not a scream of anger. A scream of a woman whose entire life had been a lie. She ran to Chibuzor's room. Stella locked the door, hugged her son tightly. Mommy, what's the problem? Why are you crying? Chibuzor asked in fear. She couldn't speak. Stella moved out that week. She took Chibuzor to her mother's house in Anambra. Anthony begged. He cried. He sent messages. He sent money. She returned everything. You turned my body into a transaction, she told him. You used me like a cow. You paid a man to use me. I cannot look at you. I cannot forgive you. Anthony's mansion became a mausoleum. He walked through the rooms, touching Chibuzor's toys, his school trophies, his football boots, his pictures. He had wanted a child so badly. Now he had lost everything. Meanwhile, Stephen did not give up. He wanted to take the boy. He sent gifts. He sent letters. I am your blood. I am your father. Give me a chance. Chibuzor tore every letter. He refused every gift. Stephen stood outside Stella's mother's compound. He called constantly from different numbers. Stella was terrified. He will not stop, she told her brother. He will not stop until he takes my son. One evening, Stephen parked his SUV outside the compound and refused to leave. I am not going anywhere until I see my son. Stella's brother called the police. When the police arrived, Stephen became aggressive. Do you know who I am? I am a rich man. I have connections. I will sue all of you. The police handcuffed him. Stephen remained in police custody for weeks. His money tried to buy his freedom, but Stella's lawyer was good. Chibuzor refused to see Anthony at first, but slowly, over months, he began to take his father's calls. Daddy, I don't hate you, but I don't understand how you could do that to mommy. Anthony wept. I know, my son, I know. I was wrong. I was so wrong. Stella did not return to Anthony. She opened a small business in Onitsha and co-parented with him.